Greeting, traveler.
I have no time for games.
The end is coming! Who am I?
Let me change your mind.
You require my assistance? Adios! We're gonna be rich.
I have no time for games.
Inferno! You require my assistance? Who am I?
Let me change your mind.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome. It is Wednesday, and you know what that means. Yes, you get to start making your hump day jokes, and yes, we are one day closer to the weekend. But most importantly, it is that time of the week for Tavern Talk, the show where we like to make hot takes and bad takes alike, sometimes simultaneously. I am, of course, one of your hosts tonight, J.R. Juggerlaw, and tonight we've got ourselves quite an action-packed episode. We won't be covering too much all in all, but we still have some epic matches to discuss, some very momentous conflict, and most importantly, we are that much closer to crowning our series champions for the season. Joining me tonight, of course, are my usual co-hosts. First off, he's the master of OPs, the man who is not a doctor, but as I've established many, many times, he is definitely part Fish. Say hello to Dr. Fish.
What's going on, everybody? Yeah, we are. We are Legacy Finals week. We are Hero Semifinals week. We just crowned Pro Champions in For the Clowns. And before we move on any further, thank you, Jim Philos, for your 30-month subscription. Thank you very much for your continued support. So yeah, I'm excited.
I'm excited too. There's just going to be a lot of fun stuff to talk about, and of course, the more subs we get, guys, the better. And remember, if you have Twitch Prime, you can subscribe for free, but there'll be more information about that later during our commercial break. As for my other co-host, you know him as a man who I have referred to as both a flower and as an element, neither of which, by the way, are insults. They're only compliments, despite what some people might have you believe. Say hello to Geranium Battle.
Hey, thank you very much for inviting me. I've switched up my profile pic a little bit here. Now I am the copycat because it looks like one of our teammates, Nails Cat,
Yes.
Victor,
Yes.
as we talked about yesterday on Heart Center interviewing the pro winners. And I look like Victor because we're gonna be the victors this week.
Nice.
I like what he did there.
You're talking
Nice.
about Victor from League of Legends.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
I was like wondering what's the name of that character, and now it all makes sense.
Well, I mean, I don't know about the cat. But Victor is name of Nails' cat, who is quite adorable.
Oh, okay, that makes a
Yeah,
lot
yeah,
of sense.
yeah.
It was
yeah.
talked about a little bit yesterday on Heart Center.
It was. Yeah. It was mentioned during the
Oh.
interview.
Okay, I was gonna say
Yes.
I unfortunately have not had a chance to watch that VOD yet, so I appreciate the
Oh.
heads up.
It's a good.
Um,
It's good. It's a good one.
Yes. Now, unfortunately for us, our original plan for tonight's episode was to have a representative from both of the Legacy Finals teams here, as we will be talking about that match a little later. However, we only have representatives from one of those teams tonight, so we will make the most of that situation. But for our special guest tonight, from Agent PLE and the dang it, Geranium. What's
No,
I'm losing it tonight.
Agent PLE and the Light Showers.
Thank you. In addition to their captain being our co-host tonight, we also have Eternal. Say hello to everybody, Eternal.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
Also,
Glad to be here.
while we will have several questions for you later, I feel obligated to ask what Diamond is asking in the chat. Are you a Zoomer?
I plead the fifth.
As a lawyer, I respect that response. All right, then. I'm not sure if Diamond is going to accept that answer, but I certainly will for now. But we'll revisit
Sure.
that later. All right. So as we discussed last week, we are now in the midst of one series being completed. Pro Series finished up. We, of course, did have our champions crowned. Who wants to be the one to tell everybody who is unaware at this point who won it all?
Oh, I said it in my introduction. It is for the clowns, baby. Let's go.
Somehow I missed that.
Oh, it's all
Oh
good.
boy. We're already off to a lovely start.
Yeah.
But yes, it's also worth mentioning, we'll say this now, a huge congratulations to Neji Boston for already being I believe that he's the fourth or fifth player to win 2 championships in one season.
Yeah, and he won them both. He got them both on the same day, which is quite
Seriously.
interesting. Yeah, his hero or his pro title got won earlier on Sunday, and then Meowth clinched it Sunday night for F12 Viridian. So we'll have Wild champions tomorrow night on Wild and Out, as well. So
Yes, I thought so, Diamond. Thank you. Yes.
And I will mention that again at the end of the show, just to remind people.
Yes,
but yeah.
And just to confirm, yes, Diamond corroborated what I suspected. He is number 5. The other 4 players, for those of you who are unaware, who have also obtained 2 championships in the same season, are Itachi, A2 Battleship, Diamond, and always Just in Time.
Yeah.
Yeah, except this season we have opportunities for people to be the first to have 3 championships in one season.
Yes, Neji does in fact. Now this is actually the first time.
Nails and Neji both have a chance for it.
Yeah.
Yes, Nails still has to win the second one, but technically he is still in the running to win 3, as both of these guys could end up winning the Hero Championship in addition to Legacy. So, Neji has the opportunity to win in Hero. Nails has the opportunity to win in Legacy and Hero after already clinching Pro. So this is like pretty exciting stuff, I gotta say, because we have not, because I think we could all agree hitting that double championship in and of itself is incredibly momentous. Like you have to pull off two championships in two very different series with two groups of people, and often having to go through very different opponents in the process. So that would be honestly insane to see somebody get three championships at once.
That'd
That
be
would
cool.
be, yeah.
That'd be
Um,
something.
so as we said, Pro has been decided, Wild has been decided. That leaves Hero Series and Legacy Series. We will
Yeah.
be getting to Hero first, as we are now in the midst of the semifinals. So this is going to be a pretty quick show. We will get right to the playoff picture first, the bracket. But we have, as of right now, 4 teams that are left. Of course, we have, after last week's matches, At Diamond took down Dad Legend, which I don't think we said it could have been an upset, but I don't think anyone ended up being very surprised that it wound up being At Diamond coming out on top, considering that these guys were looking at for a while to be the 1 seed going into playoffs.
Yeah.
And I still feel very confident that these guys are going to end up in the finals, despite the matchups they have for this week. The other matchup was Bolner Jams versus Bands Make 'em Dance, with Bands coming out on top in that matchup. So those teams, along with F2L and even without Turt, We Must Still Skirt, are your final 4 teams. The matchups, of course, specifically are going to be F2L versus Bands, and even without Turt, We Must Still Skirt versus At Diamond. I don't know about you, but I'm excited for all of this. Like as much as I love Dad Legend and Bolner Jams, I think it's very clear that these were the 4 teams that were ultimately dominating the season from the get-go. It feels like these were, in essence, the 4 best teams, the teams that were comfortably making playoffs no matter what, and the teams that, realistically speaking, are all, in my opinion, very deserving of that championship.
I'm actually going to disagree with you there, JR. Both, even without Turt, We Must Still Skirt, and Bands both started out pretty slow on the season. Bands switched out member
Oh, that's right.
5 seed for
Yeah.
Roadrunner, and
Yeah.
once they switched out for Roadrunner,
He went 5.
they were on a tear.
That
They
is
immediately
went
started.
Yeah.
What? I guess what I really should have clarified was I remember as we were getting to those last few weeks.
Oh yeah. Those teams have
These
separated by
these
then.
teams were all in a very comfortable place because we kind of saw the top 4 seeds weren't outright decided, but at the same time you could tell like where that all these 4 teams were making playoffs in one form or another, whereas those last 2 spots were the ones that were really being fought for and were really up for grabs.
Yeah.
So seeing these 4 teams, like, while yes, they all kind of had different progressions. F2L and At Diamond were obviously really on a tear for most of the season, whereas Bands and even without Turt, We Must Still Skirt weren't quite as consistent. They still definitely had their share of momentum throughout, and I think that's going to make a very interesting semifinals going into this week.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be very interesting. It feels weird actually being in a hero playoffs. Um, because I've played. This is now my 3rd season, and I didn't make playoffs in the first two seasons. So it's really interesting to be in a semifinals like for the first time.
Right.
Yeah, like
And I don't think there's any players that has the potential of getting back-to-back championships from last season, if I'm correct.
no, last season's champions are not here. Blast.
I know it was a Blast that was
Yeah.
last season,
So
but
no,
I don't.
so none of
I
our
know they didn't all stay together. That's why I bring
yeah,
it
and
up.
I don't. I'm not sure if any of the players from that team are currently still in.
Let me double check that
Lotus.
roster.
Lotus is still on at
Okay.
Diamond.
Lotus still has potential.
So
That's
Lotus
right.
is the
So,
only one left.
so if At Diamond wins, Lotus would become a back-to-back hero champion.
Yeah.
And but he's fighting like this week. They're fighting against the back-to-back team, back-to-back Mac.
Oh,
And,
that's right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's 3. I believe it's 3 of the 5 members of Tonk. Yeah, are on the team still, sitting in the 3, 4, 5.
Mm,
I believe. Um. Yeah. I mean, really interesting matchups from this for both sides. So let's go ahead and talk and kind of
let's get to the matches
I was
themselves.
gonna say let's get to the matches. So we got first up, we got F2L versus Bands, F2L Black versus Bands. I'm obviously biased in this one. I obviously
Really, Fish? I wouldn't have
I
guessed.
would you never could have guessed that the F2L Black player would be pulling for his team to win.
I thought you'd be taking the masochistic approach and cheering against your team.
Oh, yeah. For sure. That's never gonna
What?
happen.
That's not the craziest idea that I've had on this show.
Yeah, I know, Chicken. I've picked Neji to win pretty much every playoff series he's been in this season.
You're also both on
and
AFG though, so I feel like you're naturally just gonna pick him, both because of that and because you know he's an incredible player, which is not an unreasonable rationale. Let's be honest.
for sure.
But let's get to the match itself. So F2L Black versus let's make sure that we have that on screen for everybody. Oh, come on, Super Chicken. No. That's not okay. That's not okay.
No,
I mean, that's
classic too.
it's the classic. It's the classic. It's
bad.
Yeah. All right, so we've got the match on screen.
Imagine if he changed his name to Neji Bad Son.
Oh, no.
I know, right? It's cringeworthy, but just a thought. But anywho, back to the match. So after we've got F2L Black versus Bands. F2L Black coming into this with both of these teams having very similar records. F2L Black 7-4 and Bands being 8-3 and 1. All of these matches to me look pretty stacked. And they're pretty similar as far as performances go, where in Bands, like with Bands, everybody on this team is having a solid season at the moment. You know, everybody's got winning records. They're coming in with a fair bit of momentum on their side. F2L Black is mostly in the same boat, with the one exception being Neji, who is 5-6, which is still not a bad record, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, seeing as he started 0-4, like, that's not a bad record.
Right, exactly. When you consider that he's won 5 of his last 6 matches, that's pretty nuts. That is not easy to do. I know, because I'm somebody who had to do something very similar in my very first season, and believe me, it's hard. When you get off to a rough start, it is hard. So the way I see it, this is a very close match. Now, I believe, Fish, what happened the last time that your teams faced off against each other? Do you happen to recall?
I think it was a close week. I can go back in the archives. I mean, we lost to 4 teams, and I think we might have lost the Bands by a little bit.
Do you remember what week you played them?
Week 4 or 5, because that was because I was Duo Cat's last opponent
it was
on the
4.
season. Yeah, week 4, and we won 16-8 with Neji getting swept by base. Hockey subbed for Itachi this week, and he beat Nails 3-2. Rebobson won. Owl swept, and I got a 3-1 over Duo Cat. So I have not played Roadrunner this season, so I'm very, very excited to play him. We had a good set last season against each other.
Right. Now, obviously, the meta has shifted a lot since you guys last played each other. So I imagine that this is going to be, at the very least, the matches played are going to feel very different, both because of the meta shift and, of course, because of the obvious elephant in the room, that mini set that was just released.
Yeah.
Which isn't giving you guys a lot of time to prep, but it's also going to make things very interesting, I have to say. Because it makes me, I feel like now everybody's in a position where the class brings aren't so predictable. This is probably going to be the week the hardest week of the season to predict exactly what your opponent's going to bring, just because of all the interesting experimentation that's going on.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of bait decks that are being thrown around on Ladder, so we have to sort of field those and make sure we don't accidentally choose those to run.
Yeah.
Right.
But since we're closed deck list, as long as we wait a little bit
Sure.
for the match, then
Well, unlike the other semifinals match, which we will get to shortly, you guys are having your match played. All of your matches are being played after the release of the mini set, the mini expansion. So because of that, that definitely, especially, will make it interesting to see like how that all shakes up as far as the class springs and the strategy that you guys are going to go for.
Mhm.
So I'm excited to see kind of what everybody brings. Now, of course, in terms of matchups, I mean, you've got Based versus Neji, Nails versus Itachi, Astropog versus Rabobson, Seth versus Nice Jewish Owl, and Roadrunner versus Fish. I can't think of a single match about this that doesn't make me go, whoa. If I'm
Yeah.
being quite honest.
All these players have hugely high win rates, except for Neji. Make sure to remember that Neji is a losing record right now.
Because it doesn't happen often.
No.
I mean, Hero is sort of the reason why he's not the crossover king again.
I mean, he's already done it enough times, hasn't he?
Yeah. But yeah, actually, this match is also, Nails is on one side and Neji's on the other, and they're the two people we mentioned for the repeat on championships this season. So one of them is going to be eliminated this week, and for that reason, I think Nails versus Itachi is actually going to be the most interesting match from my point of view. Itachi was sort of gone at the beginning of the season, and Nails is very volatile. He can win or lose basically anything.
Sub's dark side for Itachi. Oh dear God, let's not even go there.
C-Mac, I mean, you just gotta suggest it to them, and then maybe they'll try.
No, I like Itachi. He's been rattling off win after win after win the entire most of the season. Seeing as our 2C was our best performing seed overall record wise this season.
Yeah.
Because if we count Hockey's 2-0, our 2 seed went 9-2.
Which is pretty nuts.
That's crazy. Yeah.
And I felt bad that Itachi had to take a couple weeks off due to loss of power, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, when the hurricane hit his area, yeah. He had to evac.
To say that is rough is an understatement.
Yes, it is. It's very unfortunate.
It's devastating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Everything seems okay now, but
Mm-hmm.
Oi.
Yeah.
So I guess let's go to the predictions quickly. Who do we think? I think we've kind of just let's discuss these matches a bit more detail. So, what do we think is going to be the outcome of this overall? Who do we think is going to win? Obviously, I don't think any of these matches seem very one-sided, but we do have to make predictions.
No, I think there is a one-sided match, and that's Based winning over Neji.
Really?
But then, we saw it last time. Based Rio'd Neji.
I mean, it's not that it's unheard of or that I can't see her doing it again. It's more of just they're both really good players.
No, I know what happened last time.
Yeah, but it's such a different meta now.
It was a overlook. It was a slight overlook in the lineup that we missed that caused the sweep. But no, Neji's right. Neji will be ready this time.
No, you gotta
Diamond, I love you so much.
Remember Super Chicken's message, Neji bad. Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. Well, I think it's gonna be a close series. I would like to play my match, but we'll see if its series gets to it. I am the final match of the series, just based on scheduling.
Oh, okay.
So
assuming it's not decided before then.
Oh yeah, so I will. Hopefully, I'll get to play. I mean, if I have to play my match, I will. I
feel like you're kind of hoping though your team wins, so you don't have to.
I mean that's something. If I don't know, if we win, I mean, and I don't have to play, that'd be great.
Yeah.
But that's just that's kind of feeling the nerves of playing
the PWE strat. Exactly.
It's kind of feeling the nerves of being back in playoffs, because last time I was in playoffs I had a very close series with Jester. That was the final match of our series and our team did not win that series in the end. So I don't know, it's kind of nerving to be back, but I mean
right.
This team's really good. I think both teams are so good. There's nobody on our teams that Neji has 5 wins, but he had a really rough start, and once he settled into his groove, he was just very consistent.
Mm-hmm.
And like Roadrunner 6-2 in 8 games, that's incredible. That's such a good record. Seth 8-4, Based 8-4, Astral 8-4, Nails 7-5. So,
God, I don't know who to pick here, honestly. I
yeah,
mean,
like I obviously want my team.
honestly, it would be pretty exciting for either of these teams to win because Bands has like all of these top-notch players,
Yeah,
and obviously, again, Nails is going for that possible double/triple championship. But F2L Black, if I'm now correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure despite all the times that they've gotten close, I don't think they've secured 2 titles in one season.
F2L as a brand,
Yes.
I don't believe so.
I know they've gotten close.
Yikes.
Because they've won pro twice.
They won pro twice, but they also won both times they won was before they made their Wild team.
I was gonna say Wild didn't. I was say I don't think
Wild
Series
wasn't a series at
existed
that point. Yes,
at
that
that
is
point,
correct.
so I don't think that would have
No,
happened.
Wild was not a series,
They,
but there
they-
was a time where they almost pulled it off twice when they made it into pro finals again, but they lost to Hype Horizon in the
Horizon.
finals.
Yeah.
So I don't think. Yeah, I'm pretty
Um,
sure. And they haven't won in Hero, so based
Yeah.
on or Legacy. So I'm pretty sure.
So F2L Red made the finals. And I think that was the year Everyone's a Winner won Wild. Anyways, enough about that.
Right, but they also lost to Foolish Madmen in the end. But that's beside the
They
point.
did, yeah. So both ends lost, but
Anyway,
that was some
what?
good
Let's
series.
make our predictions here. Who do we think is going to advance into the finals, boys?
I'm gonna put my chip with Bands, make him dance, or as I like to now call them, Barnes, make him hoe down.
Oh, that's right. We did. That was a
are.
joke. Yes.
I'm gonna put my chip with them. As Fish mentioned before, there was sort of a really rough start for Neji, but it was also a really rough start for Bands this season, and I think they've really come together. Roadrunner joining the team, like I think, really improved their morale, really improved their ability to take the matches, and I think they're gonna take these matches.
Mm. Yeah. No, I mean that's fair. Fish, what about you? I know what your answer is going to be, but I don't care.
Sure. Think. I mean, I'm gonna side with my own team. But I mean, I can definitely see this going 3. I can definitely see this going 4 or all 5 matches.
Mhm.
I'd be very surprised either way if this goes, only 3 or 4. Or if it goes 3, it'd be super surprising, and I think 4. I think 4 or even 5 is the likely outcome for how many matches have to get played.
Yeah,
Eternal, what about you?
I think the only way this
So
happens.
it's going to be a really interesting match to me. I think because of the mini set, it's going to come down which players can prep like the best. Like, yeah, close deck list. You don't know what your opponent's like gonna exactly bring, but it's all gonna come down to adaptation. And with the momentum that Benz has, especially like after what you have described as being a rough start, but like a very climactic run. I think they can take it. I think this, and I'm gonna go with Benz here. I'm gonna go with Benz.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean we're rooting for our legacy teammate. We know him.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I mean, I mean, Nails is definitely a solid person to bet on who's proven to be very much like Neji, very dependable, very strong, and has a very um firm understanding of the game, I would say. He's definitely one of the players that I really like and also respect the most in this game as far as just really showing a mastery of the game that I think is you don't see with a lot of players, especially in THL. So definitely, I'm definitely a big fan. For me though, part of me kind of, you know what, just for the, it's so hard for me to call that just for the sake of being fair and keeping things even, I'm going to go for F2L Black. Because I really think it's going to be very close. And the match that I feel like could easily end up deciding this is going to be Dr. Fish versus Roadrunner. And I feel like Fish. I would love to see Fish get that big win, considering what a dominant season he has had in Hero, and I know how much I'm wanting that for quite some time. Um, the other matches, I feel like all of them could just go either way. It's really hard to it's really hard to call, but I'm gonna give that slight, ever so slight edge to F12 Black.
Like I said, like better adaptation, like was gonna come off at the end of the day. It could honestly swing either way.
Oh, absolutely. And I love the fact that we're talking about this match before any matches have been played, because we can say that with the utmost confidence that we just don't know yet. We have no idea. Anything is possible here.
Yeah. No.
So that's
sure.
one match down. We've got one more hero match, though, that we still need to talk about. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, this is a match that I know Diamond is not thrilled to us to be talking about because of the circumstances that his team is currently in.
Yeah, so we have at Diamond versus even without Turt, we must still skirt. If I was on this situation, I too would be typing exclamation mark skip in the chat
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah, yeah. No, I don't blame you.
Yeah,
I
no,
don't blame you, Diamond.
I understand. So this has been a rough week so far for at Diamond. It is currently sitting 8-1. Super Chicken taking a sweep over Justin, and C-Mac taking a 3-1 win over Mick. So it is still possible for Diamond's team to win. It's going to be very tough, as even one more match win for Diamond's team, or even one more match win for Turt would seal the week.
Right.
So it's just going to be a tough one.
At Diamond is in a very precarious position right now because they cannot afford to lose another match. And while this isn't the hardest thing to do, they actually need at least one of their three if they win all three of the remaining matches, at least one of them has to be by a 3-1 margin or better. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, they may still end up losing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the match order that's left. And I'm sure Diamond does. I mean, if we have this, oh, you don't really know. Okay, well,
we shall see.
We'll see. Skirt, I mean, needs one more point. I think. Lotus plays Sunday.
Okay, Lotus
that's
plays
all.
Sunday. Yeah.
I think just sitting with 9 and Skirt down in the bottom, is very difficult.
Yeah.
I think one of those two are gonna get the win between 9 and Skirt.
They're also just
Reynolds.
in a really good spot right now, just like record wise. It's like
for sure.
They came into this week with everybody having a really good season, and that's really worth mentioning. And that's not to say that at Diamond has been playing really well on their end, but obviously, that same kind of level of consistency and the degree of dominance is not quite as pronounced as what we're seeing out of Turt, looking at the record comparisons. That being said, I still have faith that that at Diamond can really pull something off. All three of their remaining matches are still pretty confident players. I'll be honest, though, the one match that really concerns me, that I'm really worried they're not going to be able to pull off, is Roofski versus Skirt Reynolds, both because of the PR difference and the record difference.
Yeah.
So
it's gonna be a tough uphill battle for Diamond's team. If they do get it, it'll be incredible. But I would expect to see Skirt.
You know what, though?
I would expect to see, even without Turt, we must still Skirt.
You know what, though? I'm gonna do what I told myself I was gonna do before I found out about these match results. I'm still going to bet that at Diamond wins and makes it to the finals. I'm saying Lotus wins, I'm saying Diamond wins, and I'm saying that Roofski wins. We are going there.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's possible.
I told you, Diamond, I am cheering for you this season. That's how it goes, baby.
Yeah, in Diamond's defense here, 9 has 2 losses, and one of those is from Diamond.
That's important.
Yeah,
that's pretty important.
9's 2 losses are to
who's the other person? That was the big question.
I don't believe it was to our player. I do not believe it was the F2L player. I don't remember. We played them like recently. They kind of put a good week on us. Oh
It
well,
works out.
I don't remember. It doesn't matter.
Well, either way, I'm sticking to this.
Yeah.
I'm saying at Diamond wins, and I say the finals is going to be at Diamond versus F2L Black, even
Yeah.
though I would not be surprised if neither of my picks are correct at this point.
Well, one of them's bound to be correct.
Who knows?
And,
We're
cue the
gonna
Jaws music
we're
right now,
we're
please.
gonna we're gonna end the dance this week. So I mean it's gonna be tough for this map for Diamond, but at the same time, crazy things can sometimes happen in playoffs.
Which we have seen.
And so I mean I think Ruski versus Skirt's probably the most important match. I don't think Ruski's incapable. I think Ruski's capable of winning.
I mean, I will also say this. Part of my reasons for wanting to cheer for Diamond, besides the fact that I do love him and his team, is also the fact that when Tampam Surf Slam won the championship a few seasons ago, we were actually or about 4 seasons ago, we were actually in the same spot that Diamond's team is in now. We lost the first 2 matches in the semifinals, and then we won the last 3 to seal the deal. It was myself, it was Mike V, and it was and Darkhawk / Osmonaut. We were like in a tough spot, but neither of us let the pressure get to us, and we pulled out the win in very unexpected fashion. So
Yeah.
it can definitely be done even when it seems hopeless.
Sure. All right, so we're gonna just go around the tape, go around and see which of the matches of the last 3 are going to be the important. I've already said I think the 5 seed. JR has I think echoed sentiments.
Yep.
Geranium and
I'm gonna
Eternal.
disagree. I say Molestar versus Lotus Knight is the most important match here. Lotus Knight, is just he was in the 1. He got knocked down to the 2 here, and I think he needs to prove himself against top 10 legend Molestar.
Yeah, I mean, if it gets to Lotus, it's the most important match.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lotus also is the back-to-back person. Like if he can win this and get his team through, he is the only person who can back-to-back this season. So
Lotus's record in when it comes to when it comes to hero has been pretty top notch, honestly, just because he's kept getting close. Like he got close a few seasons, finally won that championship last season. And now he's back in the finals again, back in the semifinals again. Like that's really noteworthy at this point.
Yeah, and Eternal. Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Ruski versus Ruski's match. It's really I think that like is one of those things where he's gonna have to clutch out a win. He's facing a very competent player in on the other side of the team, and I think that like if he wants to win, like he can't afford to like slip up at the like final hurdle if he wants his team to move on. So I'm gonna make the battle of the 5 seeds the match to kind of clinch it.
Awesome.
It's fair. It's fair.
Yep. All right. So that's Hero semifinals. We're gonna be back next week, and we'll have our 2 finalist teams, and hopefully have some people from those teams coming on the show as well. So yeah, we are going to take a quick break to tell you a bit more about how you can support THL, and we'll go into Legacy afterward.
Of course. Wow. My ad that I already have memorized is loading up. Thank you so much for tuning in to Tavern Talk. If you are enjoying our show, make sure you check out the Round the Saloon and the Maniacal Tournament series on Mondays and Runny Tuesday on Hearthstone, and on Sunday you will never guess. All you're asking, where's my content? We're stream THL matches each night, Thursday to Sunday, starting at 8 or 9 p.m. Eastern. All you need to ask are be determined caster and player availability. Side effects may include knowledge and fun. But wait, that's not all. We also have Wild and Out, the Wild show that happens every single Thursday. This week, we're going to have the interviews of the Wild winners F2L Viridian, so make sure to check that out this Thursday. And we have incredible matches on weekend afternoons and Schoolstone. Those will be obviously the finals and semifinals matches if we can grab those. For those times and days, they're subject to the availability of those players, though. Speaking of which, please consider subscribing to our Twitch channel. This subscription enables the THL team to help cover the various costs for operating our websites and improve the quality of our streams and content to our viewers. And I see someone asking in our chat, what is Twitch Prime? Well, if you have Amazon Prime or Prime Gaming, you can sub to the channel for free. All you have to do is go to that purple button right below the stream, click that, just a short little trip down to the very bottom, see if you have a Prime sub available, and you can click that and give to the channel for free. So make sure you hit the heart button, keep the notifications on, and make sure you catch our team streams live. We appreciate each and every one of you. Subscribe to our viewers. Check out THL's other social media points of interest. Website is at teamhearthlegends.com. Follow us on Twitter at THL_.HS. Join us on Discord at Team Hearth Legends. The THLPW podcast is unfortunately a little bit MIA right now, but we'll come back some point. And Players of the Week are not to be had until next season.
Yes.
Well done. Well done.
Well done. And yeah, PAL Podcast will be back soon, TM. So be on the lookout for that.
There will of course be updates in the Discord because that's how we roll.
Yep. All right, so we are here at the finals of Legacy Series. We've made it all the way from 24 teams down to 2. We have Agent P, Ellie, and the Light Showers versus Defias Brotherhood. And Defias has finally made the finals. They were semi-finalists last season. They have made playoffs plenty of times. So and Agent PLE and the Light Showers new squad has come together and gelled and has made the run, has defeated the top seeded gold team in Golden Wisps, and meanwhile the Defias Brotherhood took down Silver's number 1 seeded Wallet Warriors on their road to finals. So, and also, yeah, you can see the road for these teams on the screen. So yeah,
this is actually really cool as a finals match, because last season in Legacy, Defias Brotherhood and Do You Even Tonk were both the quote-unquote best new teams. And then the core from Do You Even Tonk has come to become Agent PLE and the Light Showers, and the core of Defias Brotherhood has continued to be Defias Brotherhood.
Yeah, Defias has had some small roster changes, but it's remained kind of the same core identity.
They've changed a lot over the seasons. They're a team that's always been mostly like everybody recognizes Comp particularly. But as far as the overall roster, I don't think they've really been how do I put this? Like I don't think they've really been identified by like a specific players other than Comp himself, really.
I was more just referring to that they only switched a few players out from last season.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. Because their team, but I believe Comp didn't play last season.
You are correct about that.
So yeah, Neb Canuck and Comp have been together for a while. I guess it's those 2 players returning and then they added the other 3. And then Tonk's core with Uranium and Canoe.
So Defias Brotherhood last season was Wild 9.
Oh, it was Wild 9. Okay, so they kept 3 of the 5.
Wild 9 too. So Wild 9, Neb Canuck, Comp are from Defias Brotherhood. The 3 people who did not return were Hockey Boys, Jester. And Eeks.
Right.
Yeah. For sure. So we have a few. You have new players coming into the finals. Some of these players are very familiar with playing in finals from other series. So so this is gonna be a really good finals, and the intrigue is there. I'm gonna just go ahead and swap from the bracket over to the match because that's what we gotta talk about. Um, Matchups go as follows: Agent PWE in the 1 versus Wild 9, Nails in the 2 versus Classy Thug, Geranium Battle in the 3 versus Nebcanuck, Canoe in the 4 versus Comp, and Eternal, our guest, in the 5 versus the Reeler. I'm still not sure how to pronounce their name. It could be like Deriler or the Reeler. I have no clue.
Right.
So regardless,
It's hard.
good
Really hard.
matches around.
Yeah, this is the end. We got the finals. We got two teams with very different stories, of course. Agent PLE and the Light Showers, obviously a mix of various veterans to this series, or to THL. And then, of course, you've got Defias Brotherhood, which is made up of mostly pretty seasoned veterans, not all associated with the Defias name. But like Fish said before, this is the first time that they have actually made it to a Legacy Finals. And just to put things in perspective, Defias Brotherhood has been around as long as I've been in THL, which goes back 4 years now, 4.5 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, that should kind of give you an idea of how long they have been striving for this goal, and what a mainstay they've been in the same way that certain teams like Dad Legend, Dirty Mike and the Boys, and Hearthstone Academy have also been mainstays of THL and the Legacy series in particular.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are we thinking as far as how this match is going to go, though? Because obviously, we know what Uranium is going to say. I want to hear from him, but we all know what he's going to predict, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
It's just now. Here's the big question, Geranium. Are you predicting a 5-0, or are you going to go to the classic? Everybody but me on my team wins, so we go 4-1.
We go quads.
Exactly.
Okay, so if you want to hear my thought on it right now,
We might as well get your opinion out of the way first. I feel
yeah.
like
So these two teams have fought before because they're both in Gold Conference. They fought
This is true.
in just about the last week, second to last week of normal conference play. And in that week, Agent PLA and the Light Showers won 4-1 against Defias Brotherhood, and I was the only one who didn't win. So, so you mentioned the 4-1 I lose. That may be that may be very easy to replicate.
I'll be honest. I just love the fact that I made that joke, not realizing that happened last.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
It feels very poetic.
Nebcanuck took a 3-0 sweep over me on stream. So
He's legit though. He is very good. That 8-3 record is something, man.
I'm much more interested in hearing from Eternal since we got Eternal here
Yes.
just to talk about Legacy. We hope to get someone from Defias Brother, but instead now we're just gonna, I guess, crap all over them. So
Wah.
Womp.
Just search. I just so like yeah, we have fought before, and it was like pretty convincing from what from what I understand from what Geranium Battle has like been like told me. And I think we plan to do it again. I'm gonna make believe that like all 5 of these players are a bunch of tiny fins, and I am just gonna and we're just gonna murder tiny fins.
I mean, with all due respect, Eternal, is that really how it works?
I don't know. I mean,
Like, I respect the effort there, but I have to wonder.
but I don't know. Like I mean, we're good. Obvious. Okay, like real talk though. Like this is a team that is not to be slept on. I think Defiance Brotherhood they should be commended for making their first final after falling short last season, right?
Mhm.
Um, so
100%.
I can definitely see that, like, um, with the extra like playtime they've had throughout playoffs, that they're gonna put up a fight. I believe in them, and for them to give, and like I believe both these teams are gonna give each other a run for their money no matter what. But I'm gonna stick to my guns and say that yeah, PLE are gonna pee all over ha ha ha.
Give
I'm
them
done
a
with puns.
golden conference shower. Yeah.
um, this it's such an interesting series. Um, I I know that your team, Geranium, was kind of struggling a bit, and then Canoe started playing again, and this dude hasn't lost since he came back. So it's a huge boost for your team to have Canoe playing. For the last, I think it's what, last 5 or 6 weeks straight. Um,
Uh, yeah. Actually, Canoe and Eternal both came back the week that we fought Defias.
yeah,
And so like our team was sort of now made in its final form
yeah,
in that win last time we fought them.
for sure.
Mm.
Um, as for who I think is gonna win, um, huh. It's so weird because I think the top two seeds are flip flops.
Mm.
Are kind of like 50-50 matches. Are both very good. They're all very
Right.
good. I think I'd lean Nails in the two. And it would be hard to call Wild Nine versus Agent. Durani versus Neb Canuck. I mean, last time isn't exactly an indication of how this one could go, but I would have to lean Neb Canuck based off sweeping last time. But I don't think it'd be. I don't think it's gonna be a sweep either way, unless the mini set just creates kind of sweepy conquest metas, which generally doesn't happen. Uh, Canoe versus Comp. Canoe's on a roll. I think Canoe's gonna win. I think it might come down to this 5 seed down here, as to who's gonna win. Um,
No pressure.
I I don't know. It all depends on when matches are played. Um, I mean, if it's 3 matches that go light showers ways right off the bat, or like 2 or 3 matches go either team's way right off the bat, it's gonna be interesting. I think I want to see Defias win the week, and it's not for the whole idea of merch. Um, and I have so much tremendous respect for these teams. Um, I think I want to see Defias get over the hump, kind of as almost as just a long time team.
Mm.
But I'm not gonna be surprised who at the winner. I'm not gonna be surprised either way.
Yeah. So in the past weeks, I've been sort of telling Eternal how much he needs to win, and he produces that result every time.
Yeah,
So uh, you're telling me right now it's going to come down to that 5 seed match.
I mean
Eternal,
it could.
you just got to win. Simple
I
as.
mean if it's how you guys have almost had, if it could be, it could come down to agent match because that dude's been clutching. So I think my intrigue. I think I always tend to have intrigue in 5 seed matches as I play, generally down in the 5 seed. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, shout out to Geranium Battle for like kind of helping me ease into the whole THL kind of
Yeah,
mantra
for sure.
thing. So yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
This
Uh,
is tough.
if I actually had to give predictions, I would say it's uh, I think Canoe's gonna win. I think Agent Pee Wee's gonna win, and then it might actually be close with the last three here.
Mhm.
Uh, or I think Classic Tech probably beats Nails. I probably lose to Nebcanuck, and then and then it comes down to 5. So yeah, I mostly agree.
As much as I would love to see the equivalent of the Chicago Cubs winning the World series, with Defias winning. I am going to bet on my co-host and a man who has definitely earned his spot in the finals, and considering his top 2 seeds and their reputations, it's really hard for me to bet against them. So I'm going to say Agent P, Ellie, and the Light Showers take this one ever so barely. But it's going to be a close one for sure. And I'm going to be pretty excited by the outcome no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, it's always exciting when you have finals. I like there hasn't been a single finals for Legacy since I've been around, maybe with the exception of Foolish Madmen just being pretty much just being head and shoulders above
Which even
the rest
then,
of that
when
season.
they
But
got
even
to the
but even
finals,
then that was a 5-game finals that F2L really fought for. I don't think there's been a single blowout Legacy finals since every last Legacy finals that I've seen has come down to the 5th match.
Yeah.
So I expect this to be the same. And if it's not, it'll be surprising.
Either way, it's very rare that you go into a finals and feel like it's one-sided. Regardless of the amount of dominance a team has had, it always feels like it can be anybody's game.
Mm-hmm.
Like we've talked about this before, but like when we've discussed like Wild, for instance, when F2L Viridian won their first championship and they were undefeated going into it.
Yeah. They were definitely like really
second. Have they won 3 or 4 championships at this point?
3. They won.
Okay, so,
they won season 2, and then they won 4 and 5.
Right. So
Yeah.
when they won their first championship, they were undefeated.
Yes,
And they did not drop a single match loss that entire season. Like but we still were like we were confident that they were going to win, but even we were saying it could easily go the other way. I mean, hell.
I might have said that, but I might have said that just trying to give the other team a chance. They were that team was actually far ahead of the rest of the Wild teams.
They were pretty absurd and far ahead of other teams.
And then the next 3 seasons have happened.
Right.
Like,
but
where
it's
just gotten so much better.
Example. Better example. When HSA was undefeated going into the Legacy Finals a few seasons ago, and they ultimately lost to Dad Legend at the very end.
Yes.
That was a
close series too, for sure.
That was a close one. They were undefeated, but nobody thought that it would have been so it would have been so crazy to picture Dad Legend winning because they had a lot of momentum on their side as well.
For sure.
So that's just one example. But oh boy, I mean, so just to confirm, we're going to be having the Hero Championships championship team on in 2 weeks.
Potentially, it's not set in stone. We will have the Legacy winners next week, though.
Okay, so
guaranteed.
I guess we'll see. We'll keep everybody posted if next week is going to be our last show of the season.
Yeah.
Or if we're going to have one more. Mm-hmm. We will have an update for you next week for sure.
Awesome. Yep. So that's all the matches we have to cover for tonight. And so we're back on the main screen, and we're going to close out the show. I believe we're gonna do a short interview for Eternal if he's willing to answer a few questions, and then I'll run through the streaming schedule for the weekend. And
because there's quite a bit happening. There is definitely going to be a lot happening this weekend.
There's a lot less happening than I expected, but we got some stuff.
Oh, okay, never mind then.
I don't know. All right.
I mean, I try to be hopeful with these things, but I also realize that there's not as much happening right now. It's like,
when Friday Night Fights isn't happening, it just kind of takes. It just means that there's just gonna be not quite as much going on.
But to be fair, that's not due to a lack of interest.
No. That's due to that's due to things that I don't know. So
yeah, I don't either. It's like it unfortunately. Unfortunately, that is how it played out.
CMAC asking the real questions in chat, but with an Eternal interview, will the show actually end? I don't know.
I hate that. That's a good question.
I love it. C-Mac is so witty.
Ah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna turn it over to Geranium to start the questions.
Well, hey,
Yeah.
I don't have that many questions. It
Well,
was
I mean,
not
just a
really
couple is
interview.
fine.
Too bad. Go for it.
Oops. I mean, I was just gonna because I don't think Eternal is reading the Twitch chat, and Diamond just wanted to ask.
Can't read the
Eternal.
Twitch chat, so
Yeah.
disclaimer alert. I am actually legally blind, so I'm nearsighted, so I cannot read anything from it. Like read the Twitch chat because
Holy
the font is
crap.
small.
Hmm.
Damn
Yeah.
it. I thought I was badly nearsighted.
Yeah, Andy's carrying.
Hey, you weren't born with a visual impairment, okay?
Hmm.
Well, I technically was, but one that was reparable through surgery, actually.
I guess, but you know,
Mm-hmm.
But that's a story for another day.
yeah. So,
But yeah,
if there are any like questions in the Twitch chat, definitely you can always just read it to me.
Well, I want to just, before we get to the actual questions, though, I do want to ask, just to give everybody some context, let everybody know what is the extent of your experience with THL. Like, how long have you been around with us? How many seasons have you played? Which series you've played in, if you've played in any besides Legacy, just to give the viewers kind of an idea of how experienced you are with this series.
So, this is actually my rookie season of THL. I have actually never really been in any of these series. This is my first time actually being like doing anything that is close to semi-competitive, right? Like,
Yeah.
So you have not done like a similar type of series, or like, you know, like I know there's like several other series out there like run by other organizations. So you haven't done something like that?
no, I haven't. I've never done any other like third-party tournaments before. It's something I've never really considered, but after watching like a lot of GM, I thought it could be
Hmm.
fun to like try it out, even if it's at like a more community-based level, right?
Oh,
Where
hell
you know,
yes. Yes. So
everyone
much
isn't say everyone isn't your McBanter face or no hands gamer or you know.
well,
I was like,
I mean,
actually,
even McBannerface plays in THL.
yeah,
So,
Right.
he's in Wild.
he plays pro.
yeah,
He plays
He
pro
plays
for hype.
pro and he plays wild.
Yeah.
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 Honestly, I'll say this though. Like I think I speak for everyone. I say, considering the level of experience and how new you are to this, congratulations on making it to the finals in your first season. Like,
Yeah.
well
Totally.
done.
Yeah.
That's impressive,
I
man.
didn't
Yeah,
get
like
anywhere near it.
I mean,
It's hard.
to me, it's hard on your first season. Like, I was almost like afraid, like when Dranium like reached out to me, like that I would hold the team back a little bit because you
Mhm.
know, like Conquest is different from Ladder.
Hmm.
It's a lot more planning into what you're bringing
Yeah.
and how it kind of matches up against who you may or may not be facing.
Hmm.
So I find as I got as I continued to play, I got better. I
Right.
even in the losses, I felt like I was slowly improving. I'm so and you know I know that come this weekend I play on Saturday. Oh no, Sunday, my bad. I play on Sunday. So I'm gonna do everything I can to come in clutch,
Mhm.
and live up to be to that.
Fair.
All right. Yeah. So now actually getting to sort of the questions coming from Twitch chat. Uh, Diamond first wanted to ask how are you in like how was your experience in THL? I know that you just talked um, uh, about it a little bit, but you know, are you enjoying yourself? What you know, are you looking forward to anything? What's how are you feeling?
I My experience at THL has been really good. I've gotten to play against a lot of people, like a good amount of people that I probably would never have bumped onto in ladder, right? Like
Mhm.
these are players that even if they're not like at the pro level, they're still very good. They're still really good, and I acknowledge all the opponents that I have faced up until this point. Um, and even then, like I still managed to like despite the nerfs, despite like all the fears that I internally have every now and then about how I'll perform, I still like come out of the match feeling relieved that like, wow, I can't believe like I like went toe to toe against someone who is probably most likely better than me like 8 out of 10 times that we would play. Like so I think I'm learning a lot. I think I plan to play to not only win but also improve as a player. Because I think if you're not learning anything from your experiences, even at a semi-competitive level, like you're never gonna grow as a player.
Mm.
So I think this is a good learning experience and a good like challenge for me.
I think you have been improving recently as well, watching you play. Um, but next question, also from Diamond. Uh, Now knowing that you have, um, very nearsightedness, do you use any aids while you play Hearthstone?
No, mostly because like I don't really know any applications that like can like zoom in on the cards. But usually I recognize the pictures, so pictures usually help me remember all the different
Mhm.
effects,
Gotcha.
all the cards and interactions. So I don't really have to worry so much about reading the font. And if I want to read the font, honestly, I can just go to the deck builder and hover over the card.
Yeah.
So for the most part, like my Hearthstone is a pretty accessible uh, game for someone who has functional vision.
Yeah, and you can even even outside of Deck Builder, you can find an image of it online and size it up as much as you want.
Hmm.
Uh,
Hmm.
uh, would you ever consider playing on mobile, or is that just going to be too small?
Ironically, I do play on mobile every now and then, but it's so. Preferably I still prefer the PC because I have access to the deck tracker, and if like I want to play like more like harder decks, looking at you, Contact Rogue and Fell Demon Hunter, like I'm definitely gonna need that kind of stuff. Uh, when, but who knows in the future if technology gets more advanced enough, maybe we'll get a mobile version of a deck tracker or something.
Mm.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely something that I think could happen.
Well, this is a pretty abridged interview. We're gonna, maybe have another opportunity to interview Eternal next week
Yeah.
with the Legacy Championship.
Yeah.
But actually, before we end, I actually received some messages from Comp. He wasn't able to join, but as the captain of Defias, he just wanted to say um, that he's looking forward to hard fought matches, and that the last series that we had, even though it was 4-1, it went down the final game. Um, it was very close. It was 3-2s mostly for those 4-1s, except for my loss. So um, they're super prepping and they're hoping that we go to five, all five matches.
Mhm.
Awesome. Well, obviously, thank Comp for his message. And best of luck to both teams. So just an update for the week for what we got going on. Obviously, as Geranium mentioned during the commercial break, we will have Wild and Out tomorrow, and that is going to be gonna have the F12 Viridian will have representatives on the show as well as our hosts. Will be myself, Marty B, and probably one other person on the talking through the show. As EU Wild finals will also be this week. Um, they'll be wrapping up their inaugural season. Um, and and then tomorrow night we're gonna have a Thursday Maniac series instead of Maniacal Mondays. We're gonna have it on Thursday. Going to be a standard best of three conquest tournament. It'll be it's in honor of the mini set coming out. They decided they wanted to do a little bit of a tournament.
Yeah.
So we've decided to.
That sounds
So
fun.
so Desharmo asked me if I could give up, if we could do that, if could do it on Thursday. So I'll be running that as well. Busy day tomorrow. And Friday night fights will not be happening this week. So no match, so nothing going on Friday. Saturday, doubt there. I don't think we're gonna have Schoolstone on Saturday or Sunday. Lotus has just been very, very busy. So I don't know about Salty Saturday either. I'm sure if you can contact Saku Wild 9 or myself if you want. If you're playing Saturday, we can see about getting your matchup on stream. If the time is obviously correct. It obviously works out to be between like I'd say 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern start times. And then Sunday night, I know we're gonna have at least one match. I guess. Do you know if the Nails match is confirmed for then, Geranium? I know that you weren't sure.
Absolutely not.
Oh.
You think my players talk to me?
So I know for a fact that Sunday 9 p.m. Eastern, my hero match is going to be on stream. If it gets to that, so I will actually. I have been trying all season. I've been trying for the second half of the season to get on stream once, and so why not during the hero semifinals and put on a show. Hopefully it gets to my match for hopefully it gets to my match for it. So that way I get to play for everybody on stream. Be super excited for that. Unsure about 8 and 10 p.m. Eastern. The schedule says Nails versus Classy Thug is supposed to take place at 8 p.m. I'm sure that'll get all everything will get all worked out for what matches will be played that night. And that'll be Dollar Bills, Myanodon, and Saku will be some of the casters for that. So very exciting stuff coming on this week. By the end of this, we will have Legacy Series champions and EU Wild Series champions crowned, and the Legacy champs will be on our stream. So
I'm ready. Are you guys ready?
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Yeah. All right. Obviously. And this is where we will wrap up the show. Eternal, thank you so much for coming on and being a lovely guest.
No worries.
Yes, thank you so much, Eternal.
And as always, thank you, JR, and thank you, Geranium, for being on this show with me. It is always a pleasure. So yeah, we will see you all next week, same time, same place.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
probably.
All right. So
all right,
on that
everybody,
note,
stay safe. Have a good night. And we will see you all for potentially our final episode of the season.
have a good night, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Night, guys.
Take care, everybody.
Good luck. Have fun.
All right.